Good morning everyone. Welcome to my video today. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm a Stampin' Up! Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. If you're watching on my channel today, it's called Creative Gems. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love you to do so. If you do subscribe and you want to be notified each time I do a video, just hit the little bell in there and it will notify you when I've got videos to watch. I've got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. In there are just lots of cards and projects that I've done over the years. You're quite welcome to case anything from there. I've also got a Facebook group called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. All the PDFs for my videos and my live videos on a Saturday morning that I do in the group, they're all pinned. The videos are pinned to the featured tab, and the PDFs for these and those lives are in the files tab in that group. If you wish to join the group, you can request to join. Just be aware that there are two questions in there. One is why you wish to join the group, and the other is that you agree to the rules. If you don't see those questions on the device that you're on, please go to a different device until you find them. I will reject if you haven't answered the two questions. There's over 12,000 members in the group, so I try and keep an eye on it and keep up to date with everything in there. This is the card we're doing today. I'll just move that out of the road. It's called a triple fold card. I've prepped everything ahead of time. I'll show you what it looks like inside. I've done a little bit of colouring, shading in there, and it's fairly easy to do. It's not difficult at all. So we'll pop that back in there. And as usual, I've prepped all my pieces here. I shall go through them with you. I've got my measurements here. So this is what you will need. These measurements will be in the description box of this video. I did miss putting one in here, so I've just penciled it in for now, but I'll fix that when I post the PDF. My base, which I've already scored, but I'll go through it with you when we get to it. It measures 11 inches by 5 7/8. 5 7/8 is standard in Australian measurements. I think in the UK as well. In America, you're probably looking at 5 1/2. So you can adjust it, make that 5 1/2, and then adjust all your mats and DSP to suit that if you wish to do it as 5 1/2 high. My belly band is 10 inches by 1 1/4. It's the same colour as my base, and also the mat that goes on the belly band, it's in the same colour. This is Mossy Meadow. It's 3 by 3, and I've die cut it with this and with the largest Stylish Shapes square, that one, and then on this here, the focal piece on the belly band, I used white on this one here, on my sample one, but on my the one I'm doing now, I've put a piece of Designer Series paper, which I've got here somewhere. Here it is here. So I've die cut that with the next size die down in the Stylish Shapes. It's part of the DSP that I'm going to use on other parts of the card, so that will go on there. Then I've got a little greeting to go on that, which is that one, and I'm just going to put a couple of little die cut pieces on that. So that's that lot. My inside, it's very vanilla because it went nicely. I'll show you the paper in a minute. The very vanilla piece is 5 5/8 by 3 1/2, and then the DSP on the right side of that is 5 5/8 by 3 1/2 as well. I'll show you from in here. So you've got this piece here and that piece there. It's on the back side, not the right side. Well, it's on the right on both sides, but one's back to back. So you've got the vanilla there, and that will be behind it. So that's those two. And I'm going to put this strip of DSP just to break up the the colour there. Put a little bit of colour on that one. That's the strip. I haven't written the strip on there, but it measures 5 5/8 by 1/2 inch, which you can work that out easy enough for yourself. That was just a little added bit that I put on it. The DSP for your main pieces, and it's all in one piece. We're going to cut this. It measures 7 1/2 by 5 5/8. That's the main part. A coordinating piece, which was this one, 3 1/2. Oh, well, that's that one there. I did have it written down. I don't need that. It's a coordinating piece. So that's that piece there, 3 1/2 by 5 5/8. I thought I'd missed it off my sheet. The Belly Band DSP, which I've chosen this piece here. It's 4 inches by 1 inch. And then you'll need some scrap for your decorations, which my little greeting on the inside. I'm going to put this one on the inside, best birthday wishes. That's all the pieces. And I'll show you the DSP. It's a new one. It's on one of the online exclusives, which we could do a pre-order. It's called Seasons of Green and Gold. Very pretty paper. Lots of gold accents in it. That's the paper I'm using today, those two top ones, which have got all these gold ones as well with green. One side has got all gold accents on it, and the other sides are just plain with sort of a mottled pattern that you could use for anything. I don't think it's just for Christmas. I think you could use it for anything. The bells there are probably a Christmas one, but all of these you could use for even a wedding card. That would look nice on a wedding card. The bells you could use on the wedding card. That's all in that. There is a stamp set and dies and an embossing folder that all coordinate with that set, with that paper. So that's that. We've gone through that and that. We'll just put all these bits aside and we shall move that aside. Now, first off, we're going to score our main piece, which I've already scored, but I'll score it again. I didn't mean to go ahead and score it. I thought I was doing another card. So we've got 1 1/2. The first, no, sorry. I better look at my measurements here. 1 1/4. First one, 1 1/4. So take your trimmer out of the road. That's 1 1/4 there. And then across to 5 1/2, which is halfway on your 11-inch piece, which is there. Open the arm out, and 9 1/4, which is way over there. 9 1/4. Then when you fold it, I'll bring that back in a sec with cutting the DSP. When you fold it, you want a valley fold first, then another valley fold, which is the centre of your card, and then the other end will be a mountain fold, so you'll fold it backwards. Then when you close it, it'll go like that, so you've got the triple layers there. So that's your base. Now we can cut our designer series paper. This is quite a quick card to do. DSP on the long side, so make sure if you've got directional paper that your direction is on the vertical, so up and down this way, and that's the 7 1/2-inch piece at the top, and we're going to cut it at 1 1/2, which is there, and then 4 inches. So each of these is their own separate measurement. You're cutting it into strips. 4 inches, that's those two, and then this last piece should be 2 inches wide, which it is, and you're going to just cut it in half at 1 inch. So you've got 2 1-inch. Make sure that doesn't move. Make sure it's straight. Keeps moving when I'll pull that arm in and see if that helps. So 1 inch. Likes to move because it's quite fine, this paper. I'll just move it across a fraction. I'll see if I can hold it while it's dropping the arm. That's better. So 1 inch. So you'll end up with 2 1-inch strips. That's all you need your trimmer for. So you've got these 4 pieces. Now to decorate, and I'll show you where they all go. So your first little 1.5 inch strip is these 2 here. One will go on the front and the other one on the back of it. I'll just get out my silicone mat and my glue, just liquid glue I've used for this. I'm going to use a couple of different adhesives today. One will be my tear and tape on my belly band, and I'm going to use some adhesive, not sheets, what are they called? Foam adhesive sheets, just to sit my feature focal thing up. Now I better make sure this is up the right way. It goes that way. So we'll put that one on there. Why is that? That should have been 5 5/8, not 5 7. I think I cut it 5 7/8. Well, I just measure and just cut that little bit off the bottom, and I'll cut the others before I start. Yes, it's 5 7/8, and it should be 5 5/8. I'll just snip back to where it should be. And then I'll cut all the others before we go ahead and put them down. Sorry about that. I think I've got it 5 and 5. I've written 5 5/8, but I've cut it at 5 7/8. Straighten that up a little bit. Now we'll cut all these at 5 5/8. I think I mentioned 5 5/8, but I've cut them a bit long. That's it. You just chop those little bits off. It's easier to do before you glue them. It would be easier if you didn't cut them wrong in the first place. Just take those tiny bits off. 5 5/8. My measurements say 5 5/8. Don't ask me why I cut 5 7/8 is your outside cardstock. That's probably why I cut it at that. So that's that one. Then this other one is the other 1 inch piece, which will go on here. They sort of line up with where you need to put them. I've got a silicone mat, and I persist in not using it. So that one will go down on the inside, like so. Then we have this one going over, hang on, it's got to go on the top side of this, in there. If I'm careful enough, I don't get glue everywhere. So that one will sit down there. You could cut all these separate and use alternate patterns if you wish, instead of one long piece. I liked it like this. Then this other piece here, I'll get all these pieces across. Now I'll just show you on this other card. So this one here is a different pattern to those two. So I'm going to use this one here as my alternate pattern. So that can go down. I like the gold, and I've embossed, all my greetings are embossed in gold as well. I don't do a lot of embossing lately. I used to, but I think because my girls at my workshops prefer not to do it, so I haven't been doing as much. So that one goes there. That's quite pretty actually. And then this one on the inside, we have this one here, which is over this side, and this is your writing panel, which is over this side. So when you close that up, all you see is that You could put another piece down in here too if you wish, but I don't think it's necessary. So I'll just open that one, as you can see. Now I'm going to put this strip on first. I think I've cut it the right length. Yes, I have. So we shall put that piece on. This is not necessary, this piece. You could just stamp a greeting on there, stamp anything you like. This one is, I stamped the teapot on straight onto the card, but then I stamped this on a separate piece and coloured it and then stuck it on the top. This one, all three pieces are separately stamped and cut and then stuck down onto the on the top of the paper. So that's that one down there. That still gives me plenty of room to write. I'm not a big writer when it comes to writing a message inside. If I need to, I'll do a little separate piece if I'm trying to write some sort of letter or something in there. So this one goes to the right hand side in there. Get a good press down so it adheres to the base. I just pop a little bit of glue under there. It's where it's been embossed. It's just needs that little bit of extra stick. That's better. It sort of curled it a little bit when I embossed it. Same with down the bottom here. Now I'll clean that up after. And then this piece can go in on this side. Just pop that up a little bit. Pop that one in there. I always, when I'm doing a card, I always prep everything first, all my pieces, before I start assembling. I don't cut one and stick it on. I wait until it's all, and then just lay it out on your base to make sure you've got your sizes right. As you could see before, I had the sizes wrong, so do them all first before you start to assemble. So now we'll do the belly band. And I shall show you how I do my belly bands. I always do the join at the front and then it gets covered with the focal piece from the front. So you don't want it too tight. Just give it a light pinch across like that. Don't drag it too hard. So it sits there. And the other one on this side. And just keep it loose in your hand. Then just while you're holding it like that, just make sure it'll go up and down. Then you're going to put some Terran tape, and I always join it with Terran tape because it's a little bit stronger than just glue. Glue's okay for sticking down bits of, so you'll want it on the other underside of one side and the upper side of the other side. So we'll put that one underneath. So it will go across like that, and then this side will go on top. That way it's securing both ends of your belly band together. Burnish it down with your bone folder so it doesn't come adrift when you take the back off. Take the back off both of those together, and then we'll just gently fold it again so that it's nice and straight. You've got a bit of an overlap there, so it's going to be fine. Just keep it nice and even on the edges. Go like that again to make sure it's going to slide up and down. This piece here goes over the top, which, yes, I'll use liquid glue on this. You could use tape on this piece if you wish. Glue's fine. Just centre that on top of the belly band. That covers the bulk of the join at the front, and it does line up with that edge there and this edge here with your strip on top. Then I've got this and this, and I'm going to sit that flat, and I'm going to pop this up with my foam adhesive sheets. That's these ones here, I think, because I have lots of little offcuts. That one's not quite big enough, so I shall cut one to a bit. I find this is much more neat and how would I say, symmetrical? No, not symmetrical. It just makes it nice and sits up nicely with, you could use dimensionals, but I find this sits up nicely all over with one sheet. You could use strips of this as well. These are a fraction higher than a normal dimensional, not much. So I'll just put that in the center of there. And then that will go on there. In the center of that. Like so. As you can see, it's nice and firm. It gives you a firm base. This little one's going on the front, which I'm going to put the rest flat. I think it's got enough height already. I'll just put some liquid glue in the center. Doesn't need it right to the edge. We'll center that across. It's just a fraction wider than the green piece underneath, but it's going to straddle across the belly band anyway. So, oh, I know what I'm going to do before it adheres down too much. I shall pop these under. Lift that up a little bit. I might just trim the ends off those. Otherwise they're going to be a little bit long. Just a little bit of decoration on them. Pop that up. Push that down. Secure it down. That's all on that. And then I'm going to put this flat on the belly band. So I'm going to put my glue, and if you have a look, it's about 3/4 of an inch either side. So I only want glue in this center bit here. I prefer to put it on this than on the belly, on the decoration piece, because if you make it too wide, too far up that way, you're going to end up sticking this in the wrong place. So just center that on there. Sort of slippery on the shiny paper, but it will stick eventually. That's all on there. We're just about done. You can decorate as much or as little as you like on these. And just to break up the plainness of this piece here, I'm just going to pop that in the middle and down flat as well. I really do like this paper. I think I'll be getting a few more. It's only on pre-order at the moment, so you're limited to 2 packs on pre-order. But then when it's live to customers, you can get more. Well, I think it's on yes, it is pre-order. Pretty sure it is. Just straighten that a little bit. Stand it up, which you can see it's crooked. If you look at something standing it up in front of you, looks straight to me. So that will go down there. This will go, I might get a couple of embellishments out to put on the ends of that. I think I've got my blooming pearls coming gold. With my embellishments, I have them each one in a tub, one of these old wooden plastic cases that used to hold the wooden stamp sets. Each one has their own label here, the little smiley faces, just to show that it's current, and then underneath in a bit of a smaller font it tells me the colours, so I don't have to go looking for something in a particular colour. I think I've got enough gold ones in here. I know I've used lots of the gold. In saying that, I hope I have. Sure I have. Some little gold ones here, they'll be fine. I seem to use a lot of gold and not the other colours. I better get on and use some of the other colours. But I'll use the little tiny ones on here. There are other embellishments that have got gold in them, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head because I use these a lot. I'll just put one on each end of this here. Like so, and one underneath because we need odd numbers. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed that. Very easy to do. Simple card to do. I'll just put the band back on that one. And as you can see, the band goes on nicely so long as you don't pull it too tight. And that one there. Slide it off. That will make a lovely Christmas card later on as well. Love the pattern, love the colour. And that is it. Thanks for joining me, everyone. And don't forget to give me a like if you love what I do. And I shall catch you all again next Monday morning at 9 AM. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.